Hi. I actually have a lot to say, but nobody to say to. So I thought I would go live, and uh, I don't expect anybody to see it, but it's like when I get it out of my system, it's better for me. So if you are watching, I I hope you understand I'm not making these videos for you, but for me, and you are allowed to have a peek into my life. Um, 11 days ago, it was the winter holiday in Denmark. We do have 2 separate weeks, depending on where in the country you are living. And this week, some is still having the winter holidays, but we only have 1 week from school and not from work. You have to ask for time off work unless you're a teacher, I believe. Well, 11 days ago, I went to see my girlfriend in the north of Jutland, where I used to live, and the trip was really hard, and it took me days because some bridge um, broke down. Well, it was like the central heating of the city. A pipe was dug over. I'm so happy that I'm not English because I would say the same in Danish. I would say the same mistakes, not the exact same, but I will still sound a little stupid. Well, the dug over this pipe with the, I can't explain it in not any other way than central heating of the town. You know, they make the heating somewhere else and send it off to my place or your place or somebody else's place. And those pipe are dug in the ground. Apparently, they are also dug into bridges. I didn't know that. I thought they were in the ground. But somebody broke this pipe and they couldn't put traffic over the bridge or the train underneath it. So I rented like 24 hours to go on the train. I hate traveling alone. It's easier for me to cope with traveling with somebody, but not alone. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And there was a man sitting in front of me saying, and I don't know the word in English, but when he stopped after, I think, 15 or 20 minutes, he was cleaning his teeth like this for the same amount of time. I could have killed this man. I tell you, I could have killed this man. How is it that that people in general are acting really badly in public? When I was a child, you were not allowed to say these sounds at the table at all. Why is it okay to sit in a train and do it? I don't get it. Well, on the other side of the road here, there was 2 young guys. and they were talking about weed, and he's one of them was calling his counselor because he wanted his pocket money on Friday instead of Monday, and he was saying things like, "I'm so sick of this, and I I don't want this counselor anymore, and it's so stupid, and it's so." He was just hustling along, and I was like, "Well, you're pretty stupid. You're speaking about weed all the time, and you don't like your counselor. Maybe you should pull yourself together and get a life. Stop doing your fucking weed." Sorry. And then he got hold of his counselor, and he was saying, "I can't go to this school because the teacher is calling me a weed head." That's a word in Danish. And I was like, "Oh, I want to shout this out loud. If you want to smoke the weed, you can't complain about people calling you something like a junkie. That is, you are a bloody junkie to your bloody weed. How can you not go to a school because your teacher is telling you the truth?" Spoiled child. I think he was about 16 years old. Well, I did come to my girlfriend's house, and I was so tired. She's having some problems herself, so she is really tired. Also, I think that was really nice because we could be tired together. She had a horse and she has a dog. I don't like the dog, but I did pet the dog because the dog was being pretty nice to me. Um, he he was actually sad that I didn't want to pet him, so I went to pet him and tell him that he was being a good dog because I don't want to be a bad person. I think we have too many bad persons. Well, so I was there for like, I think I slept there 3 nights, maybe more, maybe less. I don't know. And then I went back home, and the same day my son got home, he had been on a winter holiday too. So we had something to talk about. My girlfriend had a car, has a car, and we went for a drive. And I was like, "Oh my god, I miss driving. No, no chewing people, no stupid weak people." And oh, there was I think he was drunk. A man on the train as well. He was having a really raised voice, and he was making sure that everyone in the carriage realized that he was on the phone with his friend, and everybody could hear every word. And he was talking really loud for like an hour. Don't you have any manners when you go in public? I try to keep quiet. I try not to bother anyone. Also, I try to fit in. Why is it that people don't want to fit in anymore? It's like it's better to be the one outstanding, no matter what. And that is just horrible. You're not a better person because you stand out, because you smoke weed or shout the most, or Oh my God, I can't stand it. Well, we got home, both of us, and we have been looking into buying a house um, together. Um, so maybe I can figure out something to do with my life. I used to have these cows and these houses, and I used to have this garden where I grew my own vegetables and made the fence for the horses and the cows, build a house, lots of things. I was never at home doing absolutely nothing, and that's not true because 2 to 4 times a year I made a boredom day. But if we lived in a house instead of this stupid flat where we only have windows to the north, there is absolutely no sunlight getting into this flat, and there is absolutely nothing outside. You can go and see the train station, but you have to stand and watch it. So if I got a garden, it might be better for me. So we went and rented a car, and we drove 700 kilometers to look at houses, and I absolutely loved it. I had um, I had sometimes with a lot of pain, um, mostly in my neck, or maybe it was just because that was the worst pain. But I did have pain in my hand and my leg and everywhere else, my back. But my neck and my head was terrible for like 2 hours, and then it was kind of leaving again. And I I really enjoyed this trip. We went and saw everything and nothing, and we did everything and did absolutely nothing. I was just sitting in this seat. I was outside the car like 3 times or so, 4, 5 maybe, I don't know. And it cost us around 2,500 Danish kroner, but I was so happy. I really enjoyed that day. I really did. I saw something. I was tired in my head. I was tired in my body. I was I was so thrilled. And I had a good night's sleep. It was a good day because I was lucky with all my pains. Um, you have to remember that I don't get any painkillers right now. The doctors took it away before Christmas, and I haven't got any substitute for it. So I do get a lot of pain if I do something or if I do nothing. So I told my son that I wish to have another trip for my birthday. I'm having my birthday tomorrow. So he brought me to the shopping centre in Kolding, and they have a Chinese New Year going on theme thingy. Well, I don't know. So they had a lot of dragons in display, and I would like to see that. We went there in the morning, and we were supposed to go in the cinema. So we did, and we saw a cartoon with dragons too. It was the third in a row. I don't think we saw number 2 ever, but I didn't care. We got popcorn, candy, Coke. We got bread and sausage, not in the cinema, but before. We got Chinese buffet later. And we just went around this shopping centre all day, doing nothing and saw everything. But that was so tough on me. It created so much pain and so much frustration because I just went on this road trip in this hired car, and that was such a happy time. And then we went to the next place, and it was still a good time, but it was too tough on me. And then I wrote to the real estate man with the house and said, I don't want that house. I didn't call it. I sent him an email, actually. And I don't want the house because he's refusing to give me any answers. There's some restrictions on where you can build underground and things like that. I think really important things. And he says it's not his problem. And I'm like, well, I don't want this house then. And then I went to some website to look what's up for sale, and I actually found another house right where we went the other day on our road trip, but it wasn't up for sale for the right price at that time, so we didn't see it. So we are already planning on going on another road trip. Yes. And I don't even know if we can get a mortgage for that amount of money. But it's possible to split the house in two. So it has 2 flats. It also have a garage, a really great big garage for my son, who's taking the education to be a mechanic. And I can keep my old horse there. But I'm not sure if I want to buy a house, actually. I want a small house. My son wants a big house. But I realized that that the city is not for me. I need to go outside, sit in the sun, and it's like my energy comes from the sun. So if I don't get any sun, I'm not working. So I have to go outside and pick in the ground or do something. Look at a bird or squirrel or whatever. I have to be outside. This place is killing me. And I do try not to be home. I try to make trips to everywhere and nowhere. I planned a trip to Esbjerg in the east, at Easter, I tried to plan this new road trip. Also, we are talking about taking a trip to Germany. It's cheaper to shop in Germany. Grocery shopping. So maybe we can go and buy soda and sugar and nuts and things like that, and get a trip out of that. I also found an old friend from more than 20 years ago. I found a friend that was my boyfriend's friend at the time. I stumbled upon him on Facebook. It was quite funny because he looked exactly like he did at that time, and he says that I look the same, just older. That was rude. And I wrote a little with him for a couple of weeks now, and yesterday the boyfriend of the time was writing to me because he's spoken to the other guy. So my teenage boyfriend wrote me yesterday. That was quite fun to hear what he was up to. But sadly, his wife has been unfaithful and they are splitting up. I didn't quite understand, but I think he moved out 3 months ago and he has known for 4 months before that, so he knew for 7 months now in total. Or I don't really care, but it's funny that when we write, he's remembering so many things. I remember he farted on my face. What a boyfriend. He was lying on his bed. This is more than 20 years ago. Keep that in mind. And he's saying, there's something wrong with my bottom. Can you take a look, please? And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with your bottom. And he say, can you look closer? And I'm really stupid because I'm far-sighted. So I can't see anything if I go closer. So when I got close up to his bum, he farted on me. He farted me in my face. I was so mad at him. So completely mad at him. I remember a lot of things from the time as well. I don't know how to explain it all, but he was a good looking guy. I can't see him now. He has a picture of his car on his Facebook page or profile. So I don't know what he's looking like now. He is also having a son who is 17. My son is 20, and he has been with his now ex-wife for 20 years. I think I was 19 when we broke up, and he was my first real choice of boyfriend. Before that, I didn't choose myself. That sounds a little stupid, I know that, but I was seeking love so much that I would be girlfriend to anyone who would love me, no matter the cause. I was just hoping that this person would love me for the rest of my life. Of course, nobody would, because that is not really love. I had a boyfriend before this one I wrote with yesterday, and I was his girlfriend because my mom told me to. That is really gross. It's really sad, actually. I don't feel like a bad person. I feel used because my mom told me what to do without asking me what I wanted to do. And I think this boyfriend I wrote with yesterday is the actually first boyfriend that was my own choice, because I wanted to share my life with him. It sounds so deep, but it isn't that deep when you're that young. I was just hoping that he would stay with me, or the opposite. But apparently we split up when I was 19. We dated for a long time. I don't know. Well, he was a nice guy, and we had a lot of fun. We did. Yeah. I'm not sure if we are going to meet, or I'm actually not sure I want to meet up, because I'm in a stage in my life that I'm unsure about everything. I don't know which leg to stand on every day. I don't know what I want to do with my life. I don't know anything. I don't even know if I want to buy a house, or if I want to sit in a flat for the rest of my life. I don't know anything at all. I do know one thing. I know that I want a better life, and I can't figure out how I will get that. How do you get a better life if you don't know what's wrong with your life? I do know what's wrong with my life. I'm really bored the most of the time. I do things like watching YouTube videos all the time, just because it steals my time. Then I don't have to think about what to do for the next 3 hours. Sometimes I take a shower for an hour just to waste time. It's horrible, actually. Today I spent my whole day watching Facebook videos. I saw one that was really funny, but most of the time I only do things so that the time passes, and it's actually pretty sad. I'm sorry, my back is so painful right now. Well, I wanted to tell you what I have been up to for last week. And I have been traveling a lot. I like that. I have been shopping a little. I have seen dragons. I have found people from my earlier life. Can you say that? I am happy. I was a bit depressed yesterday because this winter holiday was coming to an end, and I just figured that my life would be back to normal, and that is the life I don't like. But today I realized tomorrow it's my birthday, and I have to go out for dinner, so that makes the day better than today, and today I can look forward for tomorrow. So I'm not that sad. I'm happy that I had a great week. I had 2 days where I was really bored, but sometimes you have to be bored, don't you? And I'm freezing a lot today, so I will be taking a long shower. And that takes up some time as well. Now you know what I have been up to, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And I will keep you posted if I buy a house or not. I don't think so, but who knows? Who knows? It's difficult to know, isn't it? Have a nice